Yo, what is going on? Welcome back to the show. Hope everybody is doing good, man. Monday Night Football's in the books. Turnover fest it was with Brock Purdy. He was not looking purdy, and neither was Bryce Young. Both had a, very poor showing overall. Lots of mistakes in that contest, and definitely did cripple a lot of us, man. At least CMC got the business. What are we talking today? Waiver Wire Must-Have Players Week number 13. Turkey Day week, baby. It's on upon us. I absolutely love some Thanksgiving football. We are getting to the nitty-gritty. 2 more weeks left of the fantasy football season. So, this waiver wire is getting down to the, nitty-gritty skimpies. It is what it is, man. Not much left. There are some players that we can plug and play at this point, but are they going to be the top-end guys that are going to carry us over the top? Not this week. But at least there are players that we, like I said, can plug and play if required, and we got to dive into these running backs. Okay, Devin Neal. So he's first on my board, not because I think he's a stellar prospect or a product. He is a rookie, and he is trying 18 points on the season. Not much touches, not much carries in a lackluster offense with these New Orleans Saints, but Alvin Kamara is down with a knee injury to add to that ankle that he was dealing with last week as well. So this is a problem for a lot of us Alvin Kamara owners. So if you got Kamara, Neal's probably your best bet off the waiver wire at this point. 4 running backs to at least get volume upside. That is the key, man. If we're looking for anybody right now, it's for volume. Neal's not a bad running back. We'll see if he can actually take a full workload. He was okay in college. He wasn't great. I wasn't necessarily singing the good graces of him coming out of this NFL draft either, but he's got some skills. He's got some talent, and there could be some potential here as well, even though Alvin Kamara hasn't been lighting the scoreboard ablaze as of yet this season either, so it's tough to say. But if you are in desperate need of a running back, Devin Neal is definitely the number one priority for me if Alvin Kamara does miss this week with that knee injury. Tyler Algier continues to be a top running back for me off the waiver wire, 50% owned. Y'all be hating on some Tyler Algier. He still continues to get points. Anywhere from that 7 to about 12 points is your floor for Tyler Algier. And if he does get into that end zone, you're looking 15 to 20, man. So I don't get it. You guys got to at least get this guy on your bench, especially Bijan owners, man. If something happens to Bijan, this is priority handcuff time right now. So if you are in the fantasy football playoffs, you get your handcuffs immediately, because if these guys, some of the top-end guys go down, you're going to need a fill-in. So why not just put them on your bench if you got the room and the space to do it? Now's absolutely the time. Tyler Algier, 50%, 81 points. He is definitely a must-own at this point. Chuba Hubbard, just likewise, handcuff appeal. He is now 52% on that waiver wire because of the great play of Rico Dowdle. Okay, but what I'm saying right now, Chuba's not getting carries. He's not getting a lot of work, and that is because of the great running of Rico. But he is now become the primary handcuff. We know what Chuba can do when he is given a full workload, and he is a running back 1 in this league. They just could not go away from what Rico has been doing, because he's been running that much better with higher efficiency rates than Chuba has been. But he is still nursing his injury. They're working him back. But if something does happen to Rico, man, Chuba is a running back 1 for fantasy, and he needs to be owned, man. If he's on your waiver wire at this point, stash him on the bench. Get him on your roster, because it's better safe than sorry if Rico does go down. Devin Singletary, at least the rushing upside is starting to work with these New York Giants. With a Jameis Winston, we will see if a Jackson Dart does suit up this week. Coming from that concussion, we will see. Maybe it's going to be a soft benching, because they know season is done anyway, so why risk injury to your young passer? That could also be, in the docket for this new coaching staff, this interim coaching staff right now. So we'll see. But Devin Singletary, at least he's starting to get touches. Him and Tyrone Tracy have looked much better in the run game these past several weeks since firing Brian Dable as the head coach. So Singletary, there is some upside, but again, that floor is so bad when it is bad. He could cripple you to about 4 points, but if he does start running like he did previously, 15 points is definitely not out of the question. Jaleel McLaughlin, absolutely love the pickup of Jaleel this next coming weeks, man. Not to say that we can plug and play him, 110%, but at least he's going to get some spell touches with a RJ Harvey in this Denver Broncos offense. Denver's still number 1 in that division, and they're going to use all hands on deck. Yes, okay, Bo Nix, he's going to be tossing to all his wide receivers, but McLaughlin's back on the radar if you require a flex running back at this point. Bam Knight is still on the list only until we wait for a Trey Benson. If he does return to a 21-day window, I believe, has been open for a Trey Benson at this point, so we could get one more contest of a full-time Bam Knight. If not, it's going to be a mix and match between Benson and Bam Knight moving forward. But at least they're still, utilizing the man relatively well, because Jacoby Brissett is moving that football through the air. So Bam Knight still is fantasy viable at this point. Base Shal Tootin. Man, this is one of those things. He pops off in one game. Everyone's like, it's time. Tutin's going to be the guy. You got to understand, man, it's still Travis Etienne's backfield to lose at this point. So Tutin's going to have his games from time to time. They're going to sprinkle him in during game flow, using the hot hand. So is he warranted of being a starting running back in fantasy football? Absolutely not. But is he warranted to be on your roster? 110%. So we got to get him on a roster at this point because handcuff appeal, once again, if something happens to Etienne, Tutin would fill in running back 1 carries. Chris Rodriguez, these Washington Commanders commies. Okay, and Rodriguez, we know, like I said, the JCM experiment has been dead and it's over. They're still going to use the man until he absolutely pops off once again. It's been a long time since we've seen a blow-up game from JCM, so you do believe, especially with the record that they do have, still no Jaden Daniels with that broken arm. They're going to try to rotate these running backs and see who can actually move the football. Rodriguez likely would be the next one up in this rotation, so 28%, 47 points. There is potential for volume upside, but it still will be very clouded and muddy as they will be using a triple-headed rotation in Washington. Dameon Pierce, he gets released from those Houston Texans, and the Kansas City Chiefs go and pick him up for depth purposes. This could be very interesting, man. It does not hurt to go pick him up just in case as a wait and see. Could we say he's a top priority running back? Sure, we can, especially with all the names that are not on this list this week as well. Dameon Pierce, if he does find his way onto the field, I believe right now he is a practice squad player, so unless they elevate him, this is just depth purposes because Kareem Hunt is running still pretty well at this point. Had a good game this past week also, and the way that Isaiah Pacheco is still dealing with injuries, we could still see if Pacheco does come back, we should see Dameon Pierce sitting on that practice squad for the foreseeable future at this point. But, I mean, does it hurt to pick him up, especially with the Kansas City Chiefs? No, because if they do start to run and Pierce does find his way onto that field, it could be something. But, I mean, again, watch list player for me right now. Don't overspend on him of $5. And only if you got room at this point. It's a high-risk potential reward. But, I mean, I'm not expecting a great deal at this point. Just doesn't hurt to try and get him on the bench if you got room. And then Dylan Sampson, he pops off this past week with Shadur Sanders and company. I mean, just not enough touches to go around on the weekly. So we'll see if they do integrate him more with a Judkins. But Judkins still running well. Judkins seemingly continuously getting hurt these past several weeks. I mean, again, he was dinged up in this past contest. So we'll see, man. If Sampson does get on the field, he's a very talented runner as well and can make a lot of plays. He is definitely on my watch list. Quarterbacks, Jacoby Brissett continues his strong play. Is it great strong play? But no, but it is fantasy viable. 17 to 25 points on a weekly from Jacoby Brissett is great news for any quarterback stream that we're looking for, man. Taking on Tampa Bay Buccaneers this week. He is 51% owned right now, and he's still going to continue to sling that football no matter what the game does say at this point. They could have won and should have potentially won that contest versus those Jags this past week, but Jacoby is at least slinging that ball, and he's got great chemistry with Michael Wilson right now. We'll see if Marvin Harrison Jr. does return to the field this week as well, but Michael Wilson and Brissett do have something nice going at this point. He is definitely a streaming option versus those Buccaneers, man. Trevor Lawrence, sunshine, he's back on the top ends of a streaming quarterback, 42% owned, taking on the Titans this week. Another good matchup. Even though the Titans do play difficult defense at times, they are gashable in so many ways, as we have seen, from time to time. They're trying to figure things out. They came back versus Seattle Seahawks. It was a very impressive, comeback attempt by Cam Ward and company, as they were able to at least string some plays together. With a young team that doesn't have a lot of high-powered offensive weapons, you just want to see some level of progression. In this game, I think this past week versus Seahawks was pretty impressive, even though the Seahawks did, take the pedal off the metal on the defensive side, allow those Titans to, move the football down. Okay, it is game flow, so you got to understand where it's coming from. But Trevor Lawrence, he played well last week versus these Cardinals. And why was I talking about Titans? Because he's playing the Titans this week. But anyway, Trevor Lawrence, 42% owned, definitely with Jacoby Meyers in company. Maybe they get Brian Thomas Jr. back this week. I like to trail on with some other topics sometimes, but it is a good pickup this week. Trevor Lawrence, we could definitely stream him. CJ Stroud coming back off that concussion. He should be good to go this week as well. It's an okay matchup, man. What is it? Indianapolis Colts this week, a very important matchup in this division. They've been winning with Davis Mills. Could we see another soft benching? This is a big deal for CJ Stroud, hence why I got him here as my number 3 quarterback. It is put up or shut up time, man. He's had a sophomore slump in the biggest of ways, and he has not played well lately at all, and it's so difficult to understand. While it is, Is it the full-end receiving core? How is it the offensive play calling? And I get it. He's had 2 offensive play callers in the past 2 years. I understand, man. It takes some time to grow. But, CJ Stroud, if you're being outplayed by Davis Mills, the red flag is definitely upon you. You need to put up or shut up in a huge divisional contest if he suits up this week and clears concussion protocol as he should. He's definitely a streaming option because his job could be on the line this season if he does not perform, especially with how Davis Mills has been playing. Jameis Winston, the national treasure, man. This guy just continues to make plays, catching touchdown passes this week as well. He's so good, man. He's so fun to watch. Yeah, he's going to give you turnovers. Yeah, he's going to get you interceptions, but he can sling that football and he can give us some points. We will see. It's contingent on the fact if Jackson Dart does suit up in this contest back from concussion protocol. If he does, obviously this point is definitely moot, but at least he's still on the board. 8.4% we can utilize a Jameis Winston in most contests. Bryce Young coming off a terrible show. At least he found Ted McMillan to make his day look at least half decent. Still under 10 points in most leagues at this point. 151 points on the season. They're trying to work things out, man. Once they don't get in that flow, that rhythm, that game flow, but they could not get the run game going with Rico, so that kind of hampered them as well. When they run the football really well, the play action works, and Bryce Young seemingly looks that much better. So it is, matchup dependent for me. Bryce Young still on the wire for us. Tyrod Taylor, not great, man, but at least it's an option. If you do not have many at quarterback, he's going to still try to throw the football. Yes, it is under, 25, 30 attempts a game, so you got to get for efficiency over, top-end point productivity, 10 points, 12 points maybe is your ceiling for Tyrod unless he gets one really deep. And then Shedeur Sanders, he wins his first contest. What they say, first time starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns in 30 years, winning his first contest. Crazy, man. So at least I'm rooting for Shedeur. I like Shedeur. He was my top quarterback coming out of his draft. So we'll see. I mean, he did not look great overall, but at least there were some good throws and good plays that were had this past week. He's not fantasy viable at this point, but he is on the watch list for notable additions potentially down the road. Wide receivers, Chimere DK. With all the injuries to the wide receiver core, Chimere definitely stepped up in the biggest of ways. Always been a Chimere fan going back to his college days. This kid's got a lot of spunk and juice that he can make some things happen on that field. And, he developed a decent chemistry with Cam Ward as well. We saw Xavier Restrepo on the field, also another former teammate of a Cam Ward. But Chimere DK, man, 84 points right now. He's only 23% owned. This is crazy talk. We got to get him on our rosters, and he does now have flex appeal for us in fantasy football, even with an A.O. Maynard dealing with injury as well. They got the young rookie tight end Helm utilized a little bit more this week as well. So they're trying everything in their bag of tricks to see what works, and right now what works is Chimere DK. He is a must-add wide receiver at this point because he is putting up the goods that we require. Andre Iosivas. Okay, I was expecting a lot more from the target share. Joe Flacco, you failed us, man. Even when T. Higgins went down, Iosivas went down for a little bit when he took a big shot also, but not a very good contest. I was expecting at least 12 to 15 points, lots of targets. Did not materialize. There were a couple drops, couple overthrows in his direction as well. So, that could have been better than what it was this week now. No T. Higgins. He's already been ruled out. They are playing on Thanksgiving versus those Baltimore Ravens. So, again, Iosivas does have target upside appeal with Jamar Chase back also. So, there could be some goodness going to Iosivas' direction once again. And it could be from a Joey B. He should be back this week as well. So, we'll keep tabs on that. So, with Joey B. back and Iosivas with no T. Higgins, 110%. He is my number 2 on the board at this point. Parker Washington, 55% owned. He may not be there in a lot of y'all's leagues, but it's worth a shot to keep him here. We'll see if Brian Thomas Jr. does return, then that would downgrade a Parker Washington, in my opinion, especially with a Jacoby Meyers. Even though Parker just continues to put a place almost 100 points since filling in, he's been killing it, man. Returning kicks, making plays from the slot. He's very good, man. I do like me some Parker if he's there. He still is warranting if Brian Thomas does sit out once again this week. We're Christian Watson and this Green Bay Packers pass game. We are not feeling the love for Love because Jordan Love, man, what is going on with you, dude? You're so reliant on that running attack, and they are fearful. Coach LaFleur is fearful to let you throw the football all over the field. 6 points I think he had this past week. Gross, man. So it's hard not to say, guys like Christian Watson, Jaden Reed right under him, under my list, 52% for Watson, 41% for Jaden Reed. They are opening up that 21-day window off that broken collarbone for Jaden Reed as well. Is this going to help out the passing game? You got to think it might, it should, but Jordan Love is just definitely not what he was last season, not even, close to what he could be. And I don't like what's going down with this Green Bay Packers offense right now in the pass game. So, Watson and Reed, definitely pick your poison. They are there for you if you need a wide receiver. But John Mechie, New York Jets, love what I see with these Jets. And I'm telling y'all right now, Jets fans, if they continue in this right direction, you will have things to smile about. There is no question, man. You got Garrett Wilson, you go pick up an A.D. Mitchell, and you go get John Mechie. That's a very nice trio of wide receivers that a quality quarterback will be able to support without question. I'm telling y'all, it is a nice young trio of wide receivers. Always been an AD fan, always been a John Mechie fan. And, John Mechie, he dealt with that cancer. So, he's back, man. He looks good. He looks healthy, and he looks fast. He was a big fan of mine back at Alabama. So, John Mechie is on the radar right now. It's going to be still ups and downs, ebbs and flows, because we can't trust Tyrod Taylor. But, in the future, we could. Maybe in a flex appeal in deeper leagues, he still has potential, but 2 weeks in a row with touchdowns, John Mechie definitely is, turning my head at least for the potential upside of starting in my flex. Where Jaden Higgins, Houston Texans, his role may increase, but now we're getting down the board here for a little bit more of watch list guys. If you are, hampered with injury, if you're looking for some upside, Higgins may have it, but the floor is so damn small that he could give you like 2 points, and then unless he scores a touchdown. Like, that's how bad it is at this point. Only 66 points for this rookie. You wish they were getting him involved that much more. CJ Stroud definitely has to, pass the football to these wide receivers a little bit more to get this offense going. Likewise with a Luther Burden. Love me some Luther. He is the redundancy to a DJ Moore, and if DJ Moore wasn't on this team, we would see a lot more passes go to Luther Burden, and you would see the plays being had and being made. At this point, it is DJ Moore with a Luther Burden. It's like just straight up redundancy at its best. Luther's so talented. He could play on the inside, could play on the outside, such a fluid runner. We'll see, man. In this last, maybe 5 weeks of the season, will we see Ben Johnson try to, open it up and say, give the rookie some more opportunities? Perhaps, and I think that's kind of where I'm going with this one right now as a watch list. They may want to utilize him more. We see it with Colston Loveland. They're starting to use him a lot more. Maybe it's time Luther Burden starts getting a little bit more traction as well. Not bad week this week. 7 points for him was good on the top end. Where A.D. Mitchell, he only got you about 6.9 points this past week. Still, at least he was not dropping the passes. That's what we want to see, man. Get this kid's confidence back a little bit. He's got juice. He's got wheels for days, and his hands just continue to fail him. Route tree is better than advertised for most people. I'm telling y'all, he can make a lot of plays in the open field. A.D. Mitchell is definitely on the watch list for me. Likewise with the Hodgins, Isaiah Hodgins from these New York Giants catches a touchdown with Jameis Winston. It's good, but he's a third wide receiver with a Wandale and a Slayton. So, just watch list deeper leagues, 14 and 16 team. He is now back on the radar. And Greg Dortch, the most disrespected playmaker at his position, is a Greg Dortch. I don't understand why this guy does not have a full-time role in the slot in this league. I just do not understand. Every time the ball's in his hands, he makes plays. So his role this week, again, is going to be contingent on a Marvin Harrison Jr. if he does suit up based on that appendicitis or not. If he does, there is flex appeal, PPR upside for a Greg Dortch this week as well. Tight ends, let's finish this thing off with Bretton Strange. I wanted to see what Bretton was going to do coming back off his injury. He looked good, man. He looked fresh. He looked ready to go. No worse for wear, 22%. He is definitely my priority tight end this week as well, as they will continue to integrate him into this offense. He's a big, heavy pass catcher with some juice that can get down the field. Man, he was one of my sleepers in the back in the offseason. So, I'm telling y'all right now, if Bretton Strange becomes that league winner we're looking for, I'm going to be, doing victory laps when that does happen. But, Bretton Strange, definitely we can utilize him moving forward. Where Colby Parkinson, they put Tyler Higbee on the injured reserve, and Colby Parkinson has just been balling out. It's so strange. LA is probably the best team in the NFL right now. Back on the offensive and defensive side, you can't question it. Right, ever the best put together club in the NFL right now. But it's weird. They don't use Tyler Higbee in this offense, but he goes down with injury, and now they're utilizing a Colby Parkinson. I just don't understand what they don't like about Tyler Higbee. Parkinson is back on the radar. Last season, we did utilize Parkinson quite a bit when Higbee went down. He's back on the radar with Higbee gone for at least 4 games. So right now, good streaming option if you are looking for a tight end, especially in a Rams offense that is humming at the moment. Theo Johnson, continuously, week in, week out, it's straight up matchup play for Theo, man. If he does not have a good matchup, we cannot trust it, and we will not play it. But, I mean, even on the good matchup upside, there still is risk with Theo, but he's such a talented tight end. If he got himself anywhere from 6 to 8 targets a game, you would see, magical conjunction of points come into our direction. So we'll see how they continue to utilize him. He's such a big, strong, fast tight end. I love his game. Just wish he had more targets down the line. Where A.J. Barner, the yo-yo effect continues for A.J. 80 points on the season, 33% owned at this point. He's good tight end, good quality tight end, but you get those ebbs and flows, man, where this, Seahawks, they just don't target everybody on the field. Sam Darnold just goes away from everybody, feeds JSN, and then they start utilizing the run game. It's just odd. They're not even using Rashid Shaheed. I knew this is going to be such a problem, man, in this offense. How do you integrate all these guys into this offense to, whatever. I'm not even going to try to, understand what Seattle's doing at this point. Barner is another matchup play upside guy. When he does hit, it's at least, 7 to about 11 points on that floor. So he is one of these guys we can continuously utilize as a streaming tight end. Darren Waller, 21-day window does open up at this point. 27% ownership on the waiver wire. He was good before he went down for that injury, so if he comes back with no Tyreek Hill and now it's only Jalen Waddle time, they will utilize him once again to get another big body wide receiver type on the field. If Darren Waller does come back this week, I'm going to be hesitant to suggest playing him, but, I mean, we'll see how it does go. Darren Waller will be back on the radar for fantasy production once he does return and cleared that 21-day window. And Brock Wright, he still continues to fill in for Sam Laporta, who's done for the season, but they will not utilize him as much, I don't think. Maybe sprinkles from time to time. So, again, matchup play with TD upside for Brock Wright will continue. He is on the waiver at 16%, but there are better options to stream this week as well. But there you have it. That is week number 13. Waiver Wire must-have players. I got a special edition starts it for Thanksgiving and Black Friday, and then I will continue at Boom and Bust down the rest of the week with start sit for the remaining contests on Saturday. So it is going to be a busy week. I'm so excited. Love me some Turkey Day football. Hope you guys are excited as I am, man. I might be a little too excited right now. It's only Tuesday, and I'm just getting so excited. Nevertheless, as always, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, jump in those comments, give me your thoughts, and we'll see you next time. I am out.